From today we will try to learn a new subject. Subject is similar but the standard I will start the 12th standard English subject. Okay, let's try to understand the 12th standard English subject. The first chapter of Maharashtra Board of English subject in 12th standard, it is an astrologer day. An astrologer day. Astrologer day means, everyone is aware about the astrologer. They are seeing your hand, they are seeing your face. So an astrologer day. So this story is written by R.K. Narayan. The story is written by R.K. Narayan. He was a Indian literature from 1906 to 2001. The full name of Rasipuram Krishna Swami Iyer Narayan Swami. So his name is Rasipuram Krishna Swami Narayan Swami is one of the best known novelists among Indian English writer. He was the one of the best novelist in the Indian English writer, and he is author of 14 novels. Okay, so R.K. Narayan was author of 14 novels and 5 volumes of short stories. He is author of 14 novels and 5 volumes of short stories. Novels, everyone is aware about it, right? What we are reading. And social stories, 5 volumes. Volumes mean part 1, part 2, and the number of travelogues. He is having a travelogues also, and has a collection of non-fiction to his credit. And he has a non-fiction credit. He also has written a memoir, My Days, 1965. He also written his memoir, My Days, in 1975. According to it is related to autobiography. Narayan has created the imaginary town of Malgudi by realistic character in a typical Indian setting, lived amid unpredictable events. Narayan is also created which means Narayan has created he has created a imagination world, and that imagination world is Malgudi, and where specifically the real characters are living, real Indian typical characters. His stories are grounded in compassionate. His stories are grounded in the compassionate humanism and celebrate the humor. Humanism and celebrate the humor and energy of ordinary life. Whatever story he is writing, it is related to the humanism, and it is related to the humor's energy of an ordinary life. He is more focusing on the normal person or a common person. His story are characteristics by a simple style and a subtle spirit. So whatever story he is writing, it is a simple style. It is not difficult style. So Narayan was introduced to American reader in 1952 by a Michigan State University press. Narayan R.K. Narayan was introduced by the American reader in 1952 by the Michigan State University press. This includes Swami and Friends. This includes the Swami and Friends, Bachelor of Arts, The Dark Room, and Astrologer Day, and other stories. An Astrologer Day is what we are going to study in 1947. This story has written what today we are going to learn. And Mr. Sampath, the financial expert. The financial expert, Waiting for the Mahatma, The Guide, and many other books. Narayan was introduced by the American reader, the Michigan State University Press in 1942 with all these books. His novels, The Guide, the one of his novel, The Guide, what we can see. The Guide, which was published in 1958, won him the Sahitya Academy Award. So the one of his novel has won him the Sahitya Academy Award in 1961. From this book, he won the Sahitya Academy Award in 1961, the most coveted literary honor in India. His writing is distinguished by humor and unfolding irony. a unique Indianness and simplicity which is utterly charming and authentic. Naren typically portrays the peculiarities of human relationship and the paradox of Indian life. Like first of all, in his book, he is portraying the relation between man and the Indian life, and his style is graceful and marked by a genial, genial humor, elegance, and simplicity. Like his stories are more simple. Okay, his stories are more simple. If I say R.K. Narayan books are more simple, and portraying, he is depicting the human life, Indian typical life, in a very simplistic way. Okay, so today we are going to understand that story. The book was released in 1947, and Astrologer Day. Okay, let's start. So, punctually at a midday, he opened his bag. Who opened his bag first of all? An astrologer. Punctually at midday, he opened his bag and spread out his professional equipment. Midday means like you can take 10 to 11, 10 to 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. between. Like an astrologer opened his bag and spread out his professional equipment. Like he is spreading out the professional equipment. Like for example, like whatever material he have, he open this professional equipment at a midday. We can consider the 11 a.m. in the morning, which consists of a dozen of cowrie shells. Which consistent of a sea animal. Cowrie shells means, which means a sea animal shell, we can say. Whatever he is removing from his bag, so that is related to the shells. A square piece of cloth with obscure mystic. Okay, it was a like whatever he is opening a one square piece of cloth which is obscure, mystic chart on it. Like we can say, like it is a square like cloth, and there is a chart on it for, because obviously he is an astrologer. And a notebook and a bundle of palmria writing, and the bundle of a kind of palmria writing. Like if you see, definitely what kind of equipments he have. He is opening a shell, he is opening a square chart, he is having a palmria writing. Because obviously he will see your hand, so that's why his equipments will be this only. And his forehead was resplendent with scare, ash, and vermilion. His forehead was bright, dazzling, and impressive. Like obviously in his forehead there was a resplendent with scare ash. There was a ash like material, like we can say white color. Okay, because he was a astrologer, so definitely his forehead will be colored by that resplendent scare ash. And his eye sparkled with a smart, sharp, abnormal gleam, which was really an outcome of the continual searching look for customer. Okay, and the astrologer eyes is actually a sharp and abnormal gleam, which was really outcome of a continual searching look for customer, but which is simple, but which his simple clients took to be a prophetic light and felt comforted. Like his eyes was gleaming because he was continuously searching for a customer at a midday, right? At a midday, and but which his simple clients took to be a prophetic light and feel comforted. And whenever the client came, so his eyes is stopped gleaming. The power of his eyes was considerably enhanced, right? The power of his eyes considerably enhanced, which means considerably increased by their position and place, as they were between the painted forehead and dark whisker which streamed down his cheeks. Okay, like if you say, the power of his eyes was considerably increased because of that ash in the forehead, in the painted in the forehead, and the dark whisker which streamed down his cheeks. Even a half Wet eyes, even a half wet eyes would sparkle in a such setting. Yes, even if a half eyes will be sparkle in a such setting. Like definitely, like here the author is explaining about the face of astrologer, how the astrologer is painting on his forehead, and because of his forehead, his face is more bright, looking more bright. To crown the effect, to crown the effect, he wore a color, saffron color turban. Like to crown the effect, then astrologer on his head he is wearing a saffron color. Okay, saffron color around his head. Like you can even see over here, right? You can see that like this is a resplendent and saffron color, and his eyes is gleaming, right? Okay, and then around his head, and this color scheme never failed. Okay, this color scheme never failed. Like whatever the astrologer is wearing, this color scheme never failed. People were attracted to him as bees are attracted to the cosmos or dahlia stalks, right? People are attracting because of his style, what he is wearing. Like bees are attracting to the cosmos. Bees are attracted to the cosmos and dahlia stalks. He sat under the boughs of a spreading tamarind tree. He is sitting where? Under the tamarind tree, which flanked a path running through the town hall park. Okay, which actually flank a path running to the town hall park. Like he is sitting at a tamarind tree, and that path goes to the town hall park, and it was a remarkable place in many ways. And where the astrologer is sitting, he is first of all he is sitting under a tree, and that tree is called tamarind, and that tree is like that part is goes toward the town hall park, and it was a remarkable place in many ways. That place was a remarkable, like astrologer obviously he will not sit at the corner of the market, he will sit that area that was very famous, remarkable place. A surging crowd was always moving up and down. This narrowed from morning to where the astrologer is sitting. So there, so many people was running down. Like people are obviously busy. They are from morning to till night. A variety of trades and occupation was represented all along its way. There were so many, apart from the astrologer, there were so many trades and occupations was represented all along this way. Like medicine seller and the seller of stolen hardware and junk. Okay, so like a medicine seller, stolen of hardware and junk. Magician are also there, and above all, an auctioneer of cheap cloth also, like an auctioneer of cheap cloth also, who created enough tin all day to attract the whole town. These people are like earning so much money. Okay, attract the whole day. And then next to him, just next to him, in a vociferous him, being a loud, vociferous means being a loud or noisy. Next to him there is a noisy person. Noisy came a vendor of a fried groundnut. Like there was a vendor, like thele wala we can see in Hindi. So with a very loud noise, a fried groundnut, who gave his where a fancy name each day, calling it Bombay ice cream one day, and on the next day Delhi almond, on the third day Raja's delicacy, and so on and so forth. And people flocked to him. Like next to him, an astrologer, there was a person who is selling in the vendor, like groundnut. So his voice is very loud. He is selling in a very different style. He is saying the different name. Like first is Bombay ice cream. Okay, Bombay ice cream. Another day it is a Delhi almond. Third day Raja's delicacy. Right? Like you have seen the vegetable shopkeeper. They are attracting by the different words. Right? And the people looked at him, flocked at him. A considerable portion of this crowd, wasted time just hanging around. Like a considerable portion of this crowd. Like if you see this crowd, like where the where the ground where a vociferous vendor, like they are just wasting, wasting time, like deal before an astrologer too, wasted time before the astrologer too. The astrologer transacted his business by the light of flare which crackled and smoked up above the groundnut heap nearby. So whatever business astrologer is doing, he was doing under the smoke of a groundnut, because obviously next to him there was a groundnut seller, vendor seller was there. So he is transacting his business under the groundnut, and half the enchantment and half the magical effort or charm of the place was due to the fact that it did not have a benefit of municipal lighting. If I talk about the another interesting part where they are selling, there was no municipal lighting, right? So I'm going to stop here now. Okay.